Start recording. Brilliant. Okay. So that's us recording now on Teams. We're having our meeting here for Unit 2 and kind of focusing today on planning for the promotional strategy around your product, which is creating social media content to promote your creative practice, to gain fans on social media, and all of the different practices that are involved in doing that. So on the agenda, we have the first thing to talk about here is just recapping and reinforcing as a group, who is the target audience for your product? So I'm going to put that open to you now. Who is the target audience?
Young people who like rock and roll and stuff.
Great, excellent. So we've got that demographic there of young people interested in culture, rock and roll, youth culture, and all the stuff that comes into that. Something up in the chat here from Cameron. Teenagers, yeah, excellent. Okay, so we've got that again, teen culture, youth culture. It's not being pitched at the older generation or baby boomers or anything like that, is it? Let's have some more in contributions there, please. What more can we say? And you can put it up in the chat too. Okay, we've got another. Yeah, people who love rock music. Awesome. That's exactly right. Okay, and what kind of I've got another one from Sophie here. Young people, teenagers, early 20s who have outgoing personalities. Rhiannon, teenagers who are into rock music, other subgenres of rock. Awesome. Okay, let me kind of steer you onto this train of thought. What other, if we've outlined it, we've identified the genre that we're tapping into in terms of target audience. Let's think about like artists. What artists are you influenced by? And then by identifying that, you can kind of think who the fans would be of those artists and if they would be interested in your product. So what artists have you been inspired by on this project? So I want everybody to contribute to this, speaking out or put it into the chat. What artists have inspired this project? Good, we've got some good things coming through the chat here. Youngblood, Evanescence, Green Day. So we've got some kind of emo subgenre stuff coming through. Metallica, Iron Maiden. Great, yeah. Ozzy, yeah. Tom Walker, okay, some more modern kind of pop-based stuff. So that's interesting. Avenged Sevenfold, Nirvana, great, yeah. Get those artists coming through, fantastic. Great, okay, that's brilliant. Okay, so Sophie's just introduced a new kind of train of thought into the chat, which is definitely worth mentioning. What is the theme? What is the overall theme of the product? Again, let's recap on that. So we've identified the target audience. This kind of like taps into that. What is the theme? We've got relate to the message of drug misuse. So that's brilliant, Sophie. How are you doing that though? Tell me a little bit more specifically about how you are creating that theme of substance misuse. How are you going to achieve that? Like in real terms, how are you actually doing that? What is it related to the songs that you've chosen? Tell me a little bit more. Type it up into the chat. Okay, Rhiannon, how are you? How are you? Oh yeah, okay, just a few coming through. Finding songs that have yeah, give a bad image on drugs and alcohol to make people aware of the consequences. That's brilliant. Yeah, excellent. Well done. Understanding drugs misuse, mental illness, what causes relapse, addressed in the songs. Yeah, so Cameron, what we want to think about here is your overall theme is related to substance misuse, right? So how have you achieved that? How have you achieved like that theme? It doesn't just kind of come out of nowhere. How are you actually getting that across in your videos? What strategy have you used to do that? So I'd really like to hear from Cameron, Rhiannon, Aidan, Dylan. How are you getting that theme of substance misuse across in your videos? Is it in the songs that you've chosen, or the way that you're creating the visuals around it? What's the deal there? I want to see posts up from Dylan, Aidan, Cameron, and Rhiannon. How are you getting across that theme? Good, yeah, well done, Dylan. So choosing, that's crucial there, isn't it? Choosing songs that relate to substance misuse. So the set list, yeah, picking songs that represent mental state of people who misuse drugs. Good, Cameron, brilliant. And Aidan. Great. So the song that you've picked, Aidan, talks about, misuse of drugs. Yeah, definitely. So in the songs that you've picked, brilliant. Okay, well done. Using songs that have related to substance misuse to show people the consequences it can have. Yeah, good one, Rhiannon. Excellent. Okay, so target audience, young people. That's the demographic that you're looking for. People who are interested in, rock music and the cultures that surround that. You've got this overall theme that you initially decided that you're going to do, like substance misuse, which I thought was a great idea. Then the next thing in the development was, how are we going to do that? Okay, so you've just outlined now, you're doing that by choosing songs, picking a set list that has like lyrical content that addresses the negative impact of using drugs. So that's spot on. Brilliant. Okay, so now we're going to think a little bit more about moving forwards, looking towards Learning Aim B and thinking about planning for a promotional strategy for your product. So we said yesterday, when you're putting out like a key social media post, a lot of thought goes into that process, and how you can drive the most engagement with your posts. So that kind of ties into how you're going to promote this series of videos that you're creating. Why do we use promotion? Okay, so let's think about that as a question first. Why do we use promotion? Type it up as well. So let's get these ideas floating through in the chat here. Why do we use promotion? What's the point of promotion? Great. Okay, so to get people to see and hear your products. Yeah. Get your songs noticed. Brilliant. Yeah, definitely. To get famous one day. Excellent. Yeah, I like that. Good drive. Use promotion to get our music and self as musicians recognized in the public eye. Yeah. So the first point of call for doing that will be using social media. So people know we exist. Yeah, that's a good one. Otherwise, if you didn't use promotion, then people might not be able to have access to your music. Great. Okay. Now, last one, to get people to notice we exist, our songs recognized by the public, and also to promote tickets for gigs and stuff like that. Definitely. Yes, that's a bit more specific. Okay. So I'm going to type this up as well. This is a little bit trickier maybe to think about, but yesterday we kind of started this discussion in the classroom. Some interesting things came out of this. What are key points to communicate when promoting something? What are the key points that you want to get across? Now think about this like specifically for your product here. Like, what are the most important things to communicate in a social media post that's about you? I know you're in this like collective right now, the group of you as a collective, coming up with ideas, making a product, making social media content. What's the most important thing that you want to get across? Think about engaging with social media posts and stuff of bands, artists that you like. What do they get across in their posts? What's like the main thing that comes through? So think about that, and let's get some ideas in the chat here. What are the key points to communicate? Okay, good, Sophie. So we've got your artist's name. Okay, your bio. A simple version of information about yourself. Okay, using the bio on social media is really important. And getting across the message of who you are as an artist. Release dates. Jess, tell me a little bit more about release dates. Like, how would you do that? Would that be in like a post or in the bio? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. And what is the release date for? I'm interested in finding out a little bit more about what you mean there. And remember, everyone, what we want to think about right now is, what are the key points to communicate when promoting something? What's the main thing that you want to get across when you're promoting your product, promoting yourselves? Post releasing songs or tickets to get people excited for a song release. Okay, so that's really important. I think Jess has highlighted an important factor there. You can use social media, and I think that your product in particular would be like a really good example of this, to kind of build engagement and build excitement for something that's to come. So you've done this like series of like short like covers and jam sessions. What could you use that for if you're a musician? Well, you could put these together in build up to you releasing a bigger piece of material. They're almost like little teaser videos, like Jess has mentioned here, like clips of songs, not the full thing, but just a little snippet of it, just to kind of build excitement, build engagement with a release, or something that's more substantial that's to come out. That's really good. Hashtags, that's good. Yeah, you can do that by kind of clickbait stuff, thumbnails and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. Good. What about your personality? remember we were saying about how that's, you know, if not the most important factor on social media and promoting yourselves, is getting across your unique individual personality, because that's what people are interested in and that's what people want to engage with. How could you do that? Making hashtags, that's a good one. Yeah, making hashtags that people can start using and like start a bit of a movement that way. Add your personality into your profile picture. Yeah, good. Profile picture is a key one, the first kind of point of call that people see. So that's really wants to, you know, sum up who you are and what your message is. That's good. Okay. Right. So the last thing I want to talk about here, get a better idea of from you on your project, is how are you going to actually, you know, if you think of ideas of a promotional strategy, what could you do to promote your product for Quarantine Songs? Put this up for you as well, because everyone's using the chat today. Okay, so what could you do? Got a couple through here, using Canva, using posters. Very good. What have you created on Canva so far in terms of like designs and visuals? Merch. Yeah, merch would be good. Flyers, good, Cameron. Yeah. What could you do to promote your product? Dylan, give me an example of something you could do to promote your product. Okay, we've got Jess. So that you've already made end screens for your videos, so like TikTok end screen for the video. That was really useful thing to make on Canva, using those templates with the right resolution for the end screen. That's good. So Dylan, what could you do to promote your product? Posters again, yeah. Retro, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Retro style. What do you think, Aidan? What could you use? Rhiannon, I want to hear your input as well. What could you use to promote your product? Yeah, your demographic live on the internet, so you know, online stuff. That's good to point, Jess. Releasing snippets of songs, that would be a good idea. So Aidan's got promoting it across different social media platforms, making sure that it's, you know, compatible across different platforms is a good one. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we've highlighted some really important stuff there. You know, tying into planning ideas for the promotional strategy. Lots of ideas came out there. Kind of key thing being coming up with like a digital poster. So what we're going to do now is you're going to create a poster for Quarantine Songs for your project. Take an inspiration from that Downfalls High poster that MGK's got up on Instagram. So that ties into the whole vibe that Dylan was talking about. it's very retro styled, isn't it? It's got that like that very 80s pink color and all, and it looks like it was made on a photocopier. You know, it's very retro looking. Maybe that's a vibe that you might go for. So everyone here is going to use Canva. You've been using it really well recently. So we're going to carry on that creative streak. Use Canva, create a poster for Quarantine Songs. Everyone's going to contribute a poster. And then democratically, as a collective, you're going to vote on the one poster that's going to represent Quarantine Songs. Right. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording our meeting here.